Okay, Steven, did you get your thing done? Are you ready?
Yep, let's do this.
Okay, welcome everyone to episode 32 of Next Gen Newsweek, your weekly podcast for all things Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, and a little bit of CES 2021, maybe. My name's Mitch. Joining me in no particular order, we have Michael.
Hey.
And Steven. And Richard.
Hello.
Ooh, he sounds so, ominous, especially whenever you're looking at him like this.
I'm sorry.
He just rotates his chair around. He's like, hello, welcome to my parlor.
I'm looking at this hold on to your potatoes in the show notes, and that threw me off.
We'll get back to it. We'll tell you why you need to hold on to your potatoes later. We have a very jam-packed show for you. It's exciting. You know, this is the first episode of the new year where we actually have a lot of news because stuff's starting to happen. Like I said, with CES 2021 happening. Not a lot of gaming stuff coming out of that, but a couple of big, studios popping up and licenses starting to expire, and everyone's starting to get a little freaky with their Disney stuff. So we'll jump into that in a little bit. But first, we're going to start off with a little bit of a sad story from the land of Warner Brothers because Harry Potter Hogwarts Legacy has been delayed to 2022. I didn't really expect that game to come out this year, but it isn't officially now coming out this year. Steven, your take.
At first, when that game first came out, I was like, I don't know how I feel about it. But I got into trailers. I got to reading blogs, hitting up Reddit and just reading different stuff about it. And I was like, this actually could be a fun game. And it seemed like it's a bit unique for what it's worth. And then the walls come crashing down that I probably won't see it until, the beginning of next year, middle of next year?
I'd say fall 2022, maybe.
Oh my goodness. Why must I be tortured? I mean, it's a bit sad, but it's understandable. They want the game to come out right with everything that's going on, and I don't think anybody wants to be in the seat of Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the right call. It's the right call on their end. I know a lot of people are going to be sad, and it's probably going to be a few more games that's going to be like that. But, it is what it is. To produce a quality game, it takes time, effort, and patience. If they don't have the effort front, then, they have to add it onto the time. And so be it.
Yeah. Richard, anything to add on top of that?
I would have been concerned if it hadn't got delayed. Something like that. I think it's in good hands. I think I mentioned on an earlier podcast that I think it was Jam Key or Jam City. Jam something developed something for Portkey. It's a Hogwarts Mystery. It's a mobile game, and it's excellent as far as mobile games go. And if it's anything remotely like that one, story-wise and gameplay-wise for a mobile game, if you haven't already, you guys should check it out. I think it's in good hands. So if they say it's going to take another year, then by all means, take another year.
What is There's two mobile games for Harry Potter. There's Hogwarts Mystery and there's Hogwarts Legacy. Is that the other one?
It's the one that
Legacy's
suck.
Legacy's the PS5 game.
Yeah.
I know because one of them's made by Niantic, who makes Pokemon Go.
Yeah, that one blows.
Oh.
I'm talking about the one that doesn't suck.
I've never played either. I take that back.
Now, I know what would be cool is if they made a Ghostbusters version of that. Like, that would be hella cool.
But how many actual
You're
ghosts,
being sarcastic, right?
I know.
How many actual ghosts did they come out with, though? There's, the Gatekeeper, you've got the Slime, and everybody else is uncategorized. But it's only like 6 or 7 extra ghosts that you know of throughout the series, right?
Well, yeah, sure, but they can always make other ghosts. And
Hold
then
on, wait a
your
minute,
raid battles are...
Hang on. Y'all are behind the times. They've already done this. There's already a game like Pokemon Go that's Ghostbusters.
What?
Yeah, they borrowed a lot of the ghosts and stuff from the animated series that they did.
Okay.
So they really fleshed out the roster, and I was on board. Yeah, I signed up for I would get notified when it came out day one. So I threw myself into it. I even paid money And then after about a year, they just stopped updating it.
Oh.
They just completely disappeared and went silent. So
Oh no.
the whole fan base around that just kind of.
They all went
Yeah.
back
You
to
could-
playing Pokemon Go.
Yeah, you can probably. I don't even know if you can still download it or not. But
That
I mean,
is so
the
sad.
problem was it was really fun at the time because there was like a certain mechanic. It wasn't just like tossing a Pokemon ball. You had to really wrangle the ghost and like move around and stuff. To keep it. I mean it.
Cross
I
your
thought-
streams.
I thought it was fun. I thought it was awesome. But
It just sounds like
man,
Luigi's Mansion, but a mobile game. Like where you have to like
the
just shoot the
developer
dice.
just they fell off. They really did.
Maybe that's what Scott did with his AR FNAF game that he made, Special Delivery. It seems like it has some of those aspects to it. Maybe he took something from that one.
They're probably all
Or maybe Luigi and the Ghostbusters can have a crossover.
All right, it was called Ghostbusters World. Came out in 2018.
Yeah, I had
What?
no
It's
idea.
about the same time that the Harry Potter one came out, I think.
That's so sad I missed out on that.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like you weren't missing much.
No. I mean, look, for the first few months, you did. It was awesome, but it was a big letdown at the end.
I'm sorry.
If they would have kept updating it and like just put more into it, it'd have been different. But
And then they ghosted all of us.
they did. They really did.
Well, moving on to our next store, we've got Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury coming to the Switch on February 12th. I was kind of expecting a Nintendo Direct showing off the game, but instead Nintendo just dropped a 2-minute trailer for it, featuring a giant kaiju-looking Bowser and a Mario that can Dynamax, if you're familiar with your Pokemon lingo. So, Michael, did you get to watch the trailer? Are you excited for?
I did watch that. That looks fun. I'm interested to see how it all plays out. But I mean, the graphics look fantastic, so it's going to be a good Mario game.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of curious. I want y'all's thoughts on this. Like, I know that 3D World, like the base game, is it's time based. Like, you're trying to get from point A to point B, kind of like the traditional Mario games. But everything that I saw in the Bowser's Fury kind of looked like Mario Odyssey, where it's more open world. There's not like a timer. You kind of just do whatever you want. Did y'all get that same impression about it, or is that just me?
I mean, maybe they've kind of included a little bit of both elements, trying to take the best out of both worlds, and hopefully that's the case.
Yeah, it did look like it borrowed elements, which it's a good thing. So.
It's the Mario Odyssey 1.5 we never thought we were going to get.
I'm just kind of glad to see the keep your enemies closer aspect. Now
Bowser
he's needing to team up with one of the lesser evils to take down the greater evil.
Fuck you, Dad!
And it would be a trip, maybe 5 or 6 Mario games down the line, to where Bowser's off altogether and Bowser Jr. takes over and he fucks shit up. But
I mean, it's really a ploy to get Princess Peach in anyway, right? I mean, they both Princess Peach was in the eyes of both Bowser and Bowser Jr. I think Bowser Jr. had like some mommy complex in Sunshine or something like that. So yeah.
I was getting ready to bring that up. Like, I'm pretty sure that Bowser Jr. was told that Peach was his mom.
Yeah, but he's also kind of into her and hates her.
Yeah,
like there's some weird juju going on with that.
There's a lot of weird stuff going on with that for sure. I didn't put this in the notes, but I remember reading about it. They did kind of confirm what the amiibo functionality is, which I'm pretty sure amiibo were kind of dead at this point. I don't know if y'all agree with that or not, but they have
what's an amiibo?
Yeah. They have 2 new amiibo coming out, which is the Cat Mario, Cat Peach amiibos, which they have specific things that they haven't shown off in the game. Yeah, no, Nico amiibo. But then they also let you use the Bowser and the Bowser Jr. amiibos, and Bowser Jr.'s amiibo lets him do some kind of special attack in the game. That's all they said. But pretty much it's just it's almost like an easy mode that you kind of can just call upon. And then the Bowser amiibo is the exact opposite, where it can like spawn whatever this Bowser is actually called he can just kind of drop in whenever instead of at these specific moments, I assume. So he can actually make the game harder by him just showing up and just fucking things up wherever you're at. What are you, Hines?
I like that.
That's gonna be pretty crazy.
Yeah,
It's kind of like in
idea.
If y'all ever played Twilight Princess HD, if you put down the Midna Wolf Link amiibo, it would you get like a companion to help fight enemies, make things easier. But if you put down the Ganondorf amiibo, it made it where all the enemies hit twice as hard, and you can't find hearts in the overworld anymore. And
whenever you put in the Epona one, it dropped a horse from the sky onto enemies.
Yes.
No.
Yeah. I think that actually. Well, no, that's in Breath of. Well, sort of in Breath of the Wild. They don't drop from the sky. As a slight tangent, go ahead. What?
So it goes from Legend of Zelda to Dark Souls all of a sudden.
Sort of. Oh, and enemies regenerate health too. That was the other thing.
That sucks.
Slight tangent about Breath of the Wild because I saw this. There's a YouTuber. I wish I knew his name. I'd plug him. But he gets people to like mod Breath of the Wild, like the Wii U version that you can play on your computer, and they'll send him like these funny mods. And somebody sent in one where they flooded the entire game. Like it was just all water except for like everything on like the very like high slopes. And he got the raft off the plateau and was going across the map, and he had like there's this little exploit thing where you can take a treasure chest with magnesis and push it up against a raft, and it just pushes it like it was just getting thrown across the ocean. And when he finally slowed down, he got to like a part where like in the normal field there would have been horses. And so all the horses spawn in, and you just start seeing them float up to the top of the water.
That is awesome.
I'll have to find the video, but it was I got a good kick out of it. It was great. But keeping with the Mario theme, because this is Mario's still technically his 35th anniversary. Nintendo has revealed a red and blue Switch bundle where everything, like actual hardware wise with the Switch, like the actual Switch itself, the dock, and the Joy-Cons are red, but all the accessories for it, like the straps and the Joy-Con grip, are blue, very like Mario colors. I don't think any of us are in the market for buying a Switch, but do you guys like that they're finally starting to do customized Switches instead of just sticking with the ones we've always had?
Well, I mean, they did something similar a little while ago with the 3DS.
Mm-hmm.
So we might see a Luigi version.
Maybe.
That would be nice.
I just want a black and gold Zelda one. That's all I want. I'll be content.
I mean, I'm still kind of hung up on not having that variety anymore with Nintendo. It just really sucks. Like how we had different variations of the same console, kind of, sort of. How we had the 3DS, we had the 2DS, which could play 3DS games without the compatibility of the 3DS, and then we had the 3DS XL. And I know it seems kind of like a pointless pitch, but that was Nintendo's thing, and people seem to enjoy it, and they got their sales off of it. Now we've been stuck with the Switch for how long? 7 years?
Oh God, no! It's only been like 4.
Has it really been only 4 years?
Yeah.
4 years this March.
Yeah.
4 years this March, and we don't have a Pro version coming out. We don't have any type of variation coming out with it, and like, what do they have up their sleeve for us?
Well, I
nice.
will just say, we haven't gotten an official Switch Pro, which is going to be part of my next question about this, but they did revise the Switch back when the Switch Lite came out. What was that? September 2019, where they reworked like the processor in it, so that way it almost doubled the battery life on it. Made it where it had better cooling and just better all performance across the board with it. So it wasn't like a actual Switch Pro upgrade or anything like that, but it wasn't a little bit. It would make the Switch for Breath of the Wild, the base Switch, like I think most of us probably have, can only play like 3.5 hours of Breath of the Wild on like a full charge with like everything like Wi-Fi turned on, and I think it jumped it up to like 9 hours with
nice.
and then it also increased like loading speeds and stuff like that for some games. So I mean they have improved it, but it's just not been like a full on like Switch Pro refresh. But to that point, because I did ask that question when I saw that Switch bundle, and we're going to jump to Richard with his his quick shutdown answer. Does the Mario Edition Switch mean that we're not getting a Switch Pro anytime soon?
No. I want to add, you know, Steven was talking about what he would like. I would like to see a good Nintendo game. You know, it could be like Baby Shit Green, and I would play it on
I got
that
it.
Switch.
It's going to be great. So the new game is going to be, they're going to bring back Nintendogs as a Nintendo Labo feature. So you have this little bitty, like, short-sized cardboard dog that you can pet and shove your controllers into, in and out. And
look, I know you're lampooning it right now, and that's not real, but that's the kind of shit they would give us, and that's
right.
Just, you know.
Well, y'all should have seen. I don't know if Chase sent this to everyone or not, but he sent this message in this other group chat I'm in that said Nintendo announces Star Fox Maker because they're too lazy to make another one. And it was like you can be on the ground and like have dinosaurs. You can be up in the air and like do any kind of dogfighting thing. And said, oh, and they're following it up with Metroid Prime 4 Maker because they don't know how to make it. And then the next one after that was it was a Mother 3 localizer. So
I don't, you know, and I mean this isn't, you know, I rag Nintendo over this, and I shouldn't, because it's not even a Nintendo property. But I'm still waiting for a Castlevania remake, the original game, with the art style of the Castlevania characters from Smash. I mean, somebody,
Anybody,
just anybody, make that game, make it happen.
Please listen to Richard's cries for help.
I mean, it would look, it would sell. It would sell.
It would.
It really would.
Also, speaking of things that are probably going to sell really well, Microsoft wanted to get on the Mario 35th anniversary celebration, so they came out with a red Xbox Series X controller.
Wow.
It's not actually part of Mario, I don't think that, but it's it's a
But
red.
if you use a third-party accessory, it can be.
It very well, yeah. You can use it and get your circle D-pad in for your all in Street Fighter collections on the Switch. But yeah, they've got a red Series X controller. It's just red. It looks just like the blue one, but it's just red on the front, and then it's got the black buttons, and then it's white on the back, which I think is really weird. But you know, whatever. Let them do their thing. I don't need an extra Xbox controller, so I mean, if you get one, cool. But that's like a Player 3 controller right there. David will probably get one if I had to guess. Maybe if it was purple or green, he'd probably get it. But that's gonna bring us to like the overall like big story for this week, and is that Lucasfilm Games has reemerged from it used to be around in the 80s, and then it went away, became LucasArts, and then they kind of, when the whole Disney thing went about, they kind of just disappeared, but now they're coming back. And the reason why this is important is because the contract deal that EA has with Disney about being the only people who can make Star Wars games expires in 2023. So it'll be at that point where other major companies are able to buy Steven to make Star Wars games again. What do you get? What's Steven grab?
A condom.
Steven, we don't need condoms on this show, man.
a condom? What?
You got up like you were grabbing something really important. So anyway, so that being said, like, so EA has been, I don't even know when the deal started, but they have been the only ones being able to make Star Wars games. So we've gotten Star Wars Battlefront 1 and 2. We got Jedi Fallen Order. I'm sure there's other ones, but those are the most recent ones that they've come out with. And they're also the publisher of the Lego Star Wars games, I believe. Don't hold me to that. But anyway, so that's getting ready to fall apart to where anyone can make any game under the Lucasfilm branding. So, and actually, since that announcement came out, we've actually gotten two major game announcements, which is that Bethesda, the parent company of Machine Games, who does Wolfenstein, is making a Indiana Jones game slated to come out in 2023, and Ubisoft is making a open world Star Wars game that's based off of the Division engine. So fun stuff coming out. Richard, what are you thinking about all this?
I think it's awesome. I don't often wonder, but when I read this, I wondered about, there was a lot of the smaller franchises from like LucasArts that I think they sold off to Telltale. And I don't know what the current status is of Telltale. I know they shut their doors, but it seems to me like there was some news that popped up that they had tried to kind of reinvigorate that, or the investors were going to try and save it or something. I wonder if they would be if they would be apt to sell some of those, like Monkey Island. Seems like there was a couple of other ones. Full Throttle, those point and click adventures from the early days of LucasArts.
Double Fine picked up a bunch of those, right. And they Day of the Tentacle and Full Throttle and what was the other one, Grim Fandango.
Yes,
they picked up all of those and remastered them, and they're currently on Xbox.
That's Grim Fandango is, because I know I've got the Monkey Island and Full Throttle on Sony, but then Microsoft bought Double Fine, didn't they? Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. But awesome privilege. So, I mean, I think, me and Steven were talking about the Indiana Jones game and whether or not it would be exclusive to the Xbox, with it being Bethesda. And with it kind of being lorded over by Lucasfilm Games, I don't think so, because Lucasfilm would stand to make a lot of money if it was multi-platform. Mm-hmm. So, in my opinion, Microsoft would have to pay big bucks to come up from that deficit. Not that they couldn't do that, but maybe limited exclusivity. Well, I don't know if it'll be an exclusive game, though.
I think the big takeaway is that this deal for this game this game's probably been in the works for a little while. And I don't personally think that the first exclusive Bethesda game that's going to come out for the Xbox is going to be until Starfield comes out. I think that's probably going to be the first one. I really don't see them making it first party. Plus, but to your point, kind of like an exclusivity thing. I mean, $15 a month, you can get it on Game Pass, or $1 if you let your subscription lapse and then pick it back up again, versus paying $70 for it on PlayStation. So, I mean, that is kind of a deal getting it that way.
Yeah.
But Steven, did you have anything?
If it's exclusive.
Yeah. Steve?
I don't know. Maybe they could work something out to where they can have if they're gonna have this game to where it's gonna have DLCs. Maybe it can make 2 versions of the DLCs to where they can still sell to Sony and they can still sell to Xbox, but kind of break a DLC in half to where you can only get one side of the story from Xbox and you can only get one side of the story from Sony. That way you have no choice, but you have no choice.
I'm not giving them any money at all.
Play nice. You have no choice but to play nice and converse with the enemy in order to get this complete DLC story for the lore purposes.
That's almost worse than Sony limiting Spider-Man and Avengers, and then Xbox going, if you want to play as Hulk, you can only play as Hulk on Xbox. But then they, on the PS5 version of the Avengers game, you have all of Hulk's missions, but you'll know that you'll never be able to get them, and vice versa on the Xbox. That's just absolutely. To Richard, I would not give him any money for that.
To be fair, though, that Marvel game sucks. So.
True. Okay, well, I mean, think of it this way. Like, what if it was Insomniac, they never got bought by PlayStation, and they made an Iron Man game for Xbox and a Spider-Man game for PlayStation, and the story's intertwined, but the only way to figure out the whole story is if you bought the other system. I mean...
Yeah, that's not a way to help people come together at all. That's just going to make more divisive and more... That would make me want. No, I'm not going to say what it would make me want to do. I don't want to be on record for that.
Yeah, but yeah. So I don't know. Like, do you guys have any like thoughts about what an Indiana Jones game in 2023 would look like? Like, would it be like, because Machine Games, I mean, they make first person games. Granted, they're really good at making games about killing Nazis, so they already got the Indiana Jones bit.
And we already got the Nazis.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So
now I don't know anything about Uncharted, but do you think it could play close to something like Uncharted?
that's what I was thinking. Is that it's going to be like Uncharted or Lara Croft or something?
And
that's
then,
probably the
because it's the 2021 now. We'll have some big old Crystal Skull ending where he's battling an AI universe or something.
Well, I
Totally
think
fuck up all pre.
by the time that this game comes out, though, I think they'll have Indiana Jones 5 done because they're filming it right now. So the story's probably going to be intertwined with that movie, if I had to guess.
Is Shia LaBeouf in it?
I don't know.
I believe the other Indiana Jones games, even though they may not have any type of like Easter eggs or relate directly to the movies, the continuity is supposed to all be there. So.
Weird. What about an open world Star Wars game? Like any
yes.
personal opinions, like how what you would like to see in it? Like, would you do you want it to kind of take into that same like way that maybe like Destiny did stuff, or do you want it to kind of be like The Division but just with lightsabers and in the future?
Neither.
I think it's going to be closer to the Destiny, but then you're going to have some you'll have some star battles. It'll be a little mix.
Maybe.
I don't want a first person game.
What about what is that game on PS5?
Destiny meets No Man's Sky.
Or Godfall. Isn't Godfall a third person action game?
That's third person, yeah. Yeah, I'd rather have third person. I'm trying to think. Fallen Jedi, that was third person, wasn't it?
It was.
It was, yeah. I don't first person. I don't know. I don't want a first person. I want to see like Grand Theft Auto Star Wars. Be amazing. Jump into a ship, fly to another planet. That kind of open world where it's just all open.
With all the Star Wars talk, Epic is giving away Star Wars Battlefront 2 Celebration Edition starting on the 14th.
That's tomorrow, as of the time of this recording.
Yes, it is.
Wow, it's tomorrow.
Speaking of Fallen Order, though, as of I think it's today now, time of we're recording this, the free next gen upgrades for Jedi Fallen Order on Series X and PS5 have been rolled out. So if you are owner of a next gen system in that game, go ahead and take advantage of all.
Dude, that was so disappointing.
What?
That game, Fallen Order.
I never played
it. Dude, it was awesome. No, it was great. It was fantastic. The story was great. The gameplay was great. I can't really find a flaw in it. But it ended. And it felt like there was such a market for DLC because the way it worked is you had to travel to different planets. And each planet was like its own little open world segment. And
like Destiny.
It was almost Metroidvania-ish because you would go to a planet and you would come to an area that maybe you couldn't progress because of some reason. Then you'd go to another planet, you'd get a power, and then you'd backtrack and do this other planet, and that Jedi power would open. So it had a Metroidvania feel to it. But because like each little planet was kind of like its own little ecosystem, it felt like it would have been easy to just like develop like another planet-based world that you could, throw $10 at. And add on to the story or whatever. I mean, it really felt like they could have done something with that, and they didn't. It is what it is. And I mean, they didn't promise it either, but it felt so much that way that it really felt like it was missing.
Unlike Destiny, where they did promise a lot of story.
Oh my god!
Oh god!
I can never pick up Destiny again. This is too much.
You know what? I will if they make cross-buy a thing.
Yeah.
Because that right now is what's killing me. Yeah, right now you can cross-play with other people. That's fine. I don't care. But make cross-buy a thing. I don't want to have to buy the same content across 3 different consoles just because, at one place I'm playing on my PS4 or PS5, and next place I'm playing on a PC, and I don't have access to my content I already bought somewhere else.
Yep. It's not.
If
it's
Fortnite
not that hard.
can do that with skins, yeah, it's not that hard. Fucking do it.
You heard it you listen in Destiny or Bungie.
I feel like if it's online multiplayer and it's multi-platform, at this point in time, it should all be cross-play and cross-buy. Yeah. No exceptions. Mm-hmm. That should just be the standard.
Well, and it's crazy because, actually, I take that back. Activision doesn't own Bungie anymore. They're their own publisher. But back when they were under them, even still Call of Duty, like their battle passes, it's actually integrated between 2 games now across every version of the game. Most of their DLC is free, but if you buy any of those weapon packs or anything like that, I mean, you get them on everything. So I don't know. Maybe they'll get it figured out eventually, but it's also Bungie, so we'll see.
Part of it is the stores too. I mean, PlayStation gets, a certain cut. Xbox gets that same amount of cut, whether it's on their platform or vice versa. But I mean, yeah, you're right. The publishers ought to renegotiate these terms. Yeah. So what if you get a cut or they get a cut? If it's going towards our platform, that's our decision.
Right. Yeah. Well, switching gears to our last big topic. So last week we spent a little bit of time talking about the 35th anniversary of The Legend of Zelda, and we're going to spend a little bit of time talking about the next big anniversary coming up this year, which is the 25th anniversary of Pokemon. So I'm going to start with Michael because I'm sure everyone is a little bit versed with Pokemon, but I talked to Michael the most about Pokemon. So Michael, in 2021, what kind of Pokemon game would you like to see? If you got to pick between like a new game, the second version of Let's Go, or a remaster, what would you like to see?
Nintendo can't do it, but why not a VR? I mean, that'd be the.
I think you answered that question.
I mean, besides it being Nintendo, that's the next logical step. Besides, people have already beat Nintendo in that endeavor, I mean, so to speak, as far as next gen goes. I mean, they had the Virtual Boy, but, technology leaps, it almost doesn't count anymore.
Hey, don't be knocking the Virtual Boy.
Yes, that was the shit.
But, it's just, that's the next logical step is, even if it's just for fun, like a Pokemon Ranch sort of deal, you transfer your Pokemon, you can play with them, you can eat with them, you can play ball with them, whatever the fuck you want to do besides, anything that's not PG-13 with them. PR Pokemon. Meow meow. Short of that though, most realistic thing is remake of Diamond Pearl Platinum.
I think
that's why, like, one of the most hated generations is one of my favorites.
Well, and, that's actually a generation I never played because when I saw the starters, I was like, ew, they don't look like Pokemon anymore. But I would be I've grown to actually have more appreciation for that generation. I think it's because I've been playing a lot more Pokemon Go, and I'm getting to see a lot more of those creatures from that generation. But I think Gen 4 remakes are what's actually going to happen. We do have Pokemon Snap 2 coming out this year, which is, that's a very long requested sequel to a cult hit on the 64. So that's something to look forward to. But Steven, any hopes for a 2021 Pokemon game?
I was gonna ride on a new Pokemon game, but it's clear that they're not done writing out these DLCs that they have. And then with the addition of Pokemon Home, I think that's what it's called, to where you can actually, I guess you can't really call it a loophole, but you can get all 3 of your starters, and you can collect Pokemon if you need to restart it, almost like a prestige function. So I don't think they're done milking Sun and Moon. Not Sun and Moon. Sword and Shield. Um, so yeah, I was gonna lean towards a remake of Diamond and Pearl because I was gonna go to Black and White, but
They wouldn't skip Gen 4 and go to Gen 5 though.
yes.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah. So we'll probably do for Diamond and Pearl.
My
An interesting take. The only fire Pokemon that came from that generation was the starter.
really?
Was it?
There was no other fire Pokemon in the entire fucking game besides Ponyta and Rapidash until they made Platinum, which they brought in some other older generation Pokemon like Magmar, Flareon. With
Didn't they
Eevee.
have the zebra that had like fire attacks? Like it was
No,
like
well, I mean, yeah, all of them had fire attacks, but even the fire gym leader was using older gen Pokemon, and even I think if I recall correctly, that fire gym leader had a Gyarados with Fire Fang.
Hey,
All the
that's
things.
ridiculous though. I mean, if you think about it,
yeah,
that's.
drop the ball there.
I mean, teach their own. My thing with the whole Gen 8 not being time for a new game thing is, 2019 was Sword and Shield, and they decided that they weren't going to make a third Pokemon Gun or Lance or whatever it was they were going to call it. So they decided instead to do the DLC. So you got the Crown Tundra and the Isle of Armor. I think that's what they are.
Yeah.
So, to which I have yet to play either one of them. I new gamed my set, like Steven was talking about, kind of like prestige myself, and then never did it. But I think that they're hopefully gonna listen to the feedback from everyone who was like, this game, it's got a lot of graphical issues. It looks like a GameCube game. Like, think about like Genshin Impact. Like, you've seen that comparison where like they have Genshin next to Pokemon. Like, which one of these is made by Nintendo? And it's like, or technically it's not Nintendo, it's a Pokemon company, but still, it's like they need to like overhaul the next mainline Pokemon game. They need to take. I would be completely okay if, say, the Switch lasted another 4 years and like it took them 3 years to make the next Pokemon game. They said, we're just going to redo everything, and hopefully Hop doesn't exist in the next Pokemon game.
He was so annoying.
That's the reason why I can't make myself play Sword and Shield again. I take 5 steps. There's Hop. Hey, what's up, man? I just had a nice salad or something, and then he just take 5 more steps. What's going on, man? My brother's still the champion. You gonna beat him? Like, it's just whatever.
And it just bothered me. I know we're getting ready to hop subjects, but it just bothered me that he was so gun ho, and I see this in a lot of animes, to where he's got diamond armor on as far as his ego, and somebody picks it with an ice pick and just shatters his whole illusion. Like, he's done the rest of the game. He's no count.
He is. He gets his feelings hurt one time, and then he becomes a depressed little bitch the rest of the game.
He couldn't make a decisive decision. Like, he was just awful. He was like a moody teenager after a breakup. It was awful.
The opposite box art legendary, it went with him because it felt bad for him. But Richard, what are your thoughts on this?
What do I want or what do I think they'll do? They'll probably do the remake that you guys keep talking about. I don't know. I've not had a lot of experience with the different generations and the different games. I've not played a lot of them, so I don't know if this is even a thing. I know that Mewtwo was genetically engineered.
Yep.
Correct. All right. So I don't know if this mechanic is ever maybe a little bit of a darker story where you have like the element where you can actually crossbreed Pokemon, or maybe genetically engineer your own to add like a different level of customization to a Pokemon that nobody's ever played before, to where certain elements even change aspects of how they look. And if they can somehow figure out a way to do it to where it's so kind of specific or at random to where you could have a player that would have a Pokemon that was just really unique to that person, I think that would be awesome.
I mean, in Sword and Shield, they low key, I don't want to say dabbled, but it kind of hits the same markers with the fossils. There was 4 fossils, and depending on which order you like did stuff with them, and you could attach like their tops or their bottoms to the other tops and bottoms of the other fossils, and it would change like their typing and like how they looked and everything. So,
Okay, I mean, yeah, that's a taste, but go all in on that though.
It's like that
I think
Pokemon
that'd be
Fusion
cool.
website, but it's just...
there's two reasons why Nintendo don't. And one of them is the Pokemon Fusion, where people are artistically they're already brought to that. And 2, I think because of Pokemon Fusion, there actually is like a I forget the exact title, but there's a Pokemon ripoff that's fan made, and they have everything Pokemon has ever introduced into the games, including some other stuff like the Pokemon Fusion and having armor and like basically a form of Digivolving or Mega Evolution. And they got so many other features with these Pokemon, and that's why Nintendo won't touch it, is because it's in a way kind of already been done.
Are you talking about?
I don't know. I got 2 words for all that, man. Cease and desist. That's exactly what you do to stuff like that.
Michael, are you talking about isn't it called Pokemon Uranium? Isn't that what it's called?
Maybe
it's like a mod.
Yeah, it's a mod of Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So
I didn't think they called it Pokemon, but that might be it.
Yeah.
Oh
no, Mitch.
My camera went away.
There he is.
We back? Cool.
Yeah, we're back.
So it's refreshing everybody else on my thing. Okay. Anyway, what was my next Pokemon Let's question? Just real quick, unless you just want to do a run through, like a long talk about it, but I just want to ask everyone's favorite generation of Pokemon. Like, do y'all know, like off the top of your head, like if you could think about it real quick, like just out of all the generations that you've played, like what was your favorite one? And I don't know if saying Gen 1 because it's the first gen is a viable answer, but I mean, if you want to use it, go for it.
Well, then pass.
Gen 2.
Gen 2?
Only because I've got 2 Pokemon that I absolutely roll with, and I've loved them since I've seen them. You've got Ampharos, which is an electric type, and then you've got Feraligatr, which is the starter water type. And if I could have brung them into each and every game, I would have. But sadly, I was a lone Pokemon master, so I didn't have friends to help me get those Pokemon. But it doesn't matter. But Gen 2 was really my thing. I think it was like the first generation to where they had a storyline outside of the storyline where you beat the Elite Four and you actually have something to do after you beat the Elite Four other than collecting Pokemon and finishing your Pokédex.
Do you still have your games?
Huh? Do I still have them? Yes,
yeah.
I still have them. Yes.
There is. I don't have the means at hand, but there is a way to do it.
Oh, really?
Bring them into this gen.
I thought that
it's slightly illegal.
I was gonna say, I thought that the earliest generation you can move stuff from was Gen 3 on the Game Boy Advance, but there was a way to move stuff like from Fire Red, Leaf Green, and Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, which is my favorite generation, all the way up into Sword and Shield. But I mean,
so there is a way, especially with Pokemon Home, because you are able to transfer things from the I guess like not the remakes, but when they brought Gold and Silver and Red and Blue. To the store,
to the virtual console on the 3DS,
so
right?
You get a virtual DS, you download that app, you put the ROM of that game onto the DS app, and there you go.
If you really want to do it that bad, I mean, if there's a will, there is a way. So, Richard, do you have an argument for Gen 1 other than it's the first gen?
I mean, I think that they would all kind of revolve back to that. I mean, that's just your iconic. Tell me like what Pokemon from any other generation has the same type of like namesake as like Charizard or Bulbasaur or no. I mean, there's never been another lineup that has really stood against that original lineup. I mean, when you think about it, I mean, to what you just said, it is the first thing. So I mean, that's the OG group right there. I mean,
I have an input.
love it.
I have an input. Greninja.
See, like I don't even know what the hell that is.
Greninja's the number one. Greninja's been voted the number one Pokemon in the world like 4 or 5 years in a row.
Yeah, but that's based on people that like Pokemon. So,
and I don't really even fuck with him. So I mean,
Greninja's so much cooler like in the anime and in like Smash than he is in his own game.
Damn, yes.
And the fact that he, I don't know if it's, I don't think it's Mega Evolution. I think it's more of a, what was Sun and Moon's thing called? Z moves? Does that sound right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like so it's in the anime, Ash and like Greninja, they would like merge. And so there was this thing called Ash Greninja, and it was like Greninja, but it was like, it's stupid. It's so stupid. But
it was stupid, but it was so cool.
It was so
had
cool.
a red stripe on him.
It's so cool. But they put Ash Greninja in Sword and Shield. Not Sword and Shield, Sun and Moon. And it was just a beefed up Greninja that would just wreck everyone's shit. Like it was like you start your Pokemon game, like your new one, and you're like, oh my god, this is great. I can't wait to start a new adventure. But then they'll have some kind of pre-order bonus where if you pre-order the game or you get it like within like a certain time frame, they'll give you some like ridiculously overpowered Pokemon to let you just wreck shit the whole game with. And that's what Greninja was for Gen 7. So, Michael, what about your favorite gen?
Well, I'm gonna step back a bit. What really chuffs me is they introduced these gems that your Pokemon could hold, and they would power up a move one time. Yeah. And then they just completely, next generation, they're like, you know what? We forgot about those. There's no way we can put them in the game.
So there is a reason behind that, and it's more about...
Well, yeah, the real reason.
Yeah. You have to go into the whole lore behind it, about how like there's multiple universes and parallel universes within those multiverses, and it's a big thing.
Oh my god, I'm so
okay. The real reason is they were OP as shit, and people couldn't block them. So they're like, oh no, online battles, we have to preserve this, make it more even. No.
But I mean, yeah, but they also at the same time also have to keep the games fresh. So they got rid of Mega Evolution, replace it with Z moves, and then they replace Z moves with Dynamaxing. So there's no telling what's going to come in the next one. But
Pokemon Longshangs.
Oh
god. You ready for a beating for my Charizard beefy boy? Anyway, my favorite generation has to be either Gen 2, really because some of the lore and the fact that they actually crammed 2 games into one, or like I said earlier, Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, really just because one of my favorite Pokemon is Drifloon. And then there was, like, in real life, a Drifloon that you could meet all pixelated and shit. And I was like, oh my god, he's so adorable, I gotta have him. And so I geeked out a little bit on that game.
Yesterday, I was playing Pokemon Go, and there was a Drifloon event. So there was just, like, a billion of them spawning in just constantly.
So cute.
It was great. But what were you going to say, Steve?
Yeah, the evolved form of Drifloon is...
Drifblim.
He's fucking Drifbloom.
No.
He's fucking OP.
The evolution is Drifblim.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So Drifloon is the first evolution.
Okay.
Fight.
Okay. Either way, his final form is fucking OP. You can get what is it? Aftermath? That's just like special ability.
Yeah.
That you can have. So I would use him against the Elite Four. and he was pretty weak, but I didn't care about that because of his aftermath technique. He would go in first. He would get knocked out. Of course, he would do some damage, but his aftermath technique drained damn near the rest of the bar. Send somebody powerful in, knock them out. They send out their next Pokemon. I revive them, and I will do it over and over again. And I know that's like a cheapskate, but I mean, you have to be creative when you're looking at a 15 level difference between you and these Final Four, Elite Four people.
That and a 25, 26 Pokemon gauntlet of having to go through shit. I mean, yeah, I don't blame you one bit. I think the creepiest thing about Drifblim and Drifloon is the fact that in their Pokédex entries where they gather up kids and take them to the afterlife. It's just like there's some dark ass Pokemon entries. Their Pokédex entries.
They say there's some good lore behind some of these entries. They're saying that a lot of them are based off of whatever region they're
like the folk tales
pertaining to. Yeah, it's their folk tale. So
yeah. All right, well, let's go ahead and start closing things up with the second episode of Trivia. Bum, bum, bum. This episode, or this trivia question, is going to pertain to the Pokemon series. You know, I know, right? Like, what else would it be? Since we're talking about it. And you know what's funny? I almost accidentally put the question in the show notes. I had to remember to go back and delete it out, because how funny it'd be if I just post everything in there. If you want to submit, trivia questions for our cast, make sure you tweeted us at NGNW podcast or message me or message us on Instagram or something. Anyway, so find us on the internet. This one is actually not in particular to one specific Pokemon game, but just into like Pokemon in general. And we're taking it all the way back to 1996 for this one. Before the Pokemon Company decided that Pikachu would be the mascot for the series, what Pokemon was the original mascot for the whole series? Was it Squirtle, Jigglypuff, Clefairy, or Eevee? Steven.
I thought I had that question in the bag. I'd have to say Eevee.
Okay. Richard?
Name that Pokemon.
My gut instinct is to say Eevee, but I'm going to roll the dice on this one, and I'm going to say Bulbasaur.
That's not even an option.
That's not even an option.
Yeah, it is.
No.
Squirtle. There we go. Squirtle.
There we go.
That's what I meant.
I'm so disheartened by you.
It turns into it. Come on.
What?
No, it doesn't. We're going to have to take you to school.
Look, hold on. I'm almost 40 years old, okay? When these games came out, I already had a license. I was driving a car. I was hanging out at night. I was not playing Pokemon.
Oh, my God.
Michael,
Bulbasaur's a good answer, though.
Well, he's not.
You know
on
what
the
I was
list.
thinking of? Look, hold on. You know what I was thinking of? I was thinking of Blastoise. That's the BL, the Bulbasaur Blastoise. That's where it was.
Sure.
Yeah.
You've redeemed
Dig
yourself.
that hole deeper. It's fine.
No, I mean, hey, look, they sound similar.
Michael, do you know the answer to this one?
I actually thought it was something. I actually thought it was going to be Meowth, and I feel like I should know this, and I don't know off the top of my head, and that makes me really sad.
It's
but I'm going to actually go with Clefairy.
Well, the correct answer for this trivia question is Clefairy.
Oh,
Nice.
Clefairy,
Nice.
they actually had Clefairy picked as the original mascot, but then deemed it was too girly, so they went with Pikachu, who they thought would be more neutral between boys and girls. So, Michael, you take the lead by 1 point.
You're welcome.
So, good job.
I want to recount.
Where the show is made up and the points don't matter.
So, good job. All right, well, on that note, let's go ahead and plug some social medias and close this bad boy out. So, our weekly trivia winner, Michael, why don't you start us off?
unsolicited nudes. We're getting closer and closer to 200 members. So come on, help us share these nudes. And open box tech deals. Not a whole lot is going on this week. We're starting to have some new games rotate out with different systems on your Xbox, PlayStation, and Epic. But make sure to keep a look at my page, and I'll show you the news. We're, like I said earlier in the show, Star Wars Battlefront 2 Celebration Edition. That's like the complete thing is coming to Epic. So get on that. It's a good game.
Nice. Richard.
New video actually posted earlier today, Night of the Living Dead, BoardGameBreakdown.com. I haven't got the links yet posted up on Facebook and Twitter, but it's actually on YouTube if you want to check it out, and more stuff on the way next week, but brand new video on YouTube now, BoardGameBreakdown.com. Or on YouTube, not .com.
We'll figure it out.
He was so professional. BoardGameBreakdown.com. Wait.
.com. I should get it.
All right, Steven, what you got?
I'm going to be focusing on Twitch this week. My poor little computer finally gave out on me.
Oh, no.
So I am going to be doing some streaming this week. I'm going to be doing Cyberpunk, but as I found out today, the lineup got changed. Shortly after this stream, which will be 2 days by the time you guys see it, I'm going to go ahead and stream the Little Nightmares 2 demo. So you guys can enjoy that and chill with me. Come on and hang out. And that's Twitch, The Breaks. That's THA space BREAKZ. Come check me out, guys.
Word. If you want to find anything I'm doing, find me on Twitter and Twitch at Meechflow. Haven't been streaming a lot lately, but maybe I'll get into it. We'll see. Fun, lots of stuff going on in the behind the scenes with the old Mitchie world. So also apologies for getting the episode out late. I said Friday and then it ended up being Saturday, but I was busy. And I think that's all I got. So anyway, hope you have a great week. This episode should be up on time. Please don't at me. I'm the only human. Make sure you follow the podcast NGNW podcast. Yeah. Follow the podcast at NGNW podcast on Twitter and Instagram. I am in the process of getting a website made, so no promises on when that gets done because like I said, I'm a busy guy playing my Pokemon Go and stuff on my days off. But anyway, y'all have a good week. We'll be back next time with more entertaining and exciting news in the world of gaming. Michael.
Okay, and as an additional for Open Box Tech Deals, there's a new hot free game out right now. If you're aware of the gaming platform website marketplace for indie games, itch.io is a game called Only Cans. It is exactly what you think it is. It is full of imagery of unnecessarily high-quality cans, all colors, sizes, tastes, and accessories. Tasty and tasteful canned drink erotica. And even has one-handed gameplay available. Streaming to a PC near you. Y'all have a good night.
Oh my god. One-handed gameplay. I'm sold!